Hello and welcome everyone to this new video on SQL Server. My name is Shivam and today in this video we will understand how we can alter stored procedure in SQL Server. So without any further delay, let's see the agenda for this video. So in this video, first we will understand how we can alter stored procedure in SQL Server, and for this implementation we will cover two methods, first by using SQL Server Management Studio and second by using SQL query. Now for the SQL query we need to understand the syntax for how we can alter stored procedure in SQL Server, and after that we will understand how we can alter stored procedure permission in SQL Server. And for this implementation also we will cover two methods, first by using the Management Studio and second by using the query. And in the last we will see create or alter statement for stored procedure in SQL Server. So let's move to the first topic. But before that I would like to inform you that we already have a detailed article related to this topic, in which we have covered all these topics with examples as well. The link of that article will be available in the description box. So if you are fond of reading, you can check that out. And for better understanding, I may use the website to refer and explain the examples. So let me navigate you to the site. So if you open the link in your browser, it will open this article on alter stored procedure in SQL Server, in which we have covered all these topics. Let's move to the very first topic and understand how we can alter stored procedure in SQL Server. So to alter a stored procedure in SQL Server, we basically use alter procedure statement. So if you guys remember, to create a stored procedure we use this create procedure command. Similar, to modify any existing stored procedure we use this alter procedure statement. The main difference between the create and alter is just that the create procedure statement is used for new stored procedures that we want to create in our database, whereas alter procedure statements are used for existing stored procedures when we want to modify some existing stored procedure. So let's see the syntax for that. So this is the main syntax, where very first thing is the alter procedure, then we need to specify the schema or the name of the procedure, and if the procedure have some parameters, then we need to specify the parameters. Now from here we can specify all the changes that we want to make in our stored procedure. For example, if we want to remove one parameter from our existing one, we can remove that. We can make some changes in our SQL block, which comes in this begin and end block. So let's understand this whole implementation with the help of a very simple and a basic example. So here is the first example. So in this example, first we are creating a very simple stored procedure. Let's copy this and implement in the Management Studio, and then we will move forward. So here I've pasted my example in the new query editor window. So here what we are doing is we are simply using this create procedure command to create a new procedure with name all students, and in the body we have simply used this select statement to select all the rows from the student table. So if we click on execute, it will create this stored procedure in the SQL Server Guides database. So now we have one stored procedure in our database. Let's understand how we can use this alter procedure statement to modify this. So what I will do here, I will simply use this alter procedure statement instead of create procedure, and let me add one more line to this. So here I have added one more select statement. This statement will basically return the count of rows that are there in the students table. So by executing this stored procedure we will get two results. First one is the result set, complete result set from the students table, and the second one is the count. So it will return all count of all the records which are there in the students database. So if I click on execute, so you can see the command has been executed successfully. It means our stored procedure is modified. Now let's execute this stored procedure. So I will simply click on execute, and here you can see the result. So it has returned two results. First is the complete result set from the student table. So it has basically 5 columns and total 10 records are there. and the second result set is about the total count. So 10 is the total count in this table, so just return that. So with this we have understood how we can use this alter procedure statement to modify an existing stored procedure in SQL Server. Now let's see how we can directly use the Management Studio to modify any existing stored procedure. So for this implementation I will expand this database directory. So I want to expand this SQL Server Guides database. Under this I will expand programmability, and then I will expand this stored procedures. Let me refresh it once. Now I want to modify this all employees stored procedure. So I will right click it and I will click on modify option. So by clicking that, it will automatically open the script to modify this one. So here you can see it has already generated this alter procedure statement for that, and this procedure also consists very simple statement, one select statement to fetch all the rows from the employees table. So in the similar manner to students, all students procedure, we will modify this also. So here I will put this count, select count statement to get the count for employees table, and now we simply need to modify. Now we simply need to make the modifications that we want, and then we simply need to click on execute to execute this. And now if we execute this procedure, this procedure will also return two results. First one is the normal result set, and second result set is about the count. Now let's move to the next topic. Next we will understand this topic, which is alter stored procedure permission in SQL Server. Now to modify any existing stored procedure, any user or role needs to have the alter permission for that. And if we don't have that permission, then that user or role might not able to modify that stored procedure. So in this we will first understand how we can check whether the user have the specific alter permission on that stored procedure or not, and if not, then how we can grant the alter permission of that stored procedure to a specific user. So here first we have explained one general query that we can use to get a result set through which we will get to know whether the user have that alter permission on the stored procedure or not. Let's copy this example and then I will explain its purpose. So very first thing is the execute as statement. So I am executing this statement as a user, where the username is my_user. So this is basically the username. And then we have this select statement, where I am using this user_name function, which is a built-in function, and it will return the current username. And then we have another select statement which is used to fetch two columns. First is by the name. So the name that we are selecting is from the sys.procedures view. So this view carries information related to all the stored procedures that are there in a specific database. So first thing that we are doing is we are fetching the names from that view, and then we are using this has params by name function. So this function is basically used to get to know whether a specific permission is there on that in the database. So what we have done, we have passed name, which is the procedure name, and second thing for which we want to check the permission, so as stored procedures are objects, so we are checking the permission on object, and the permission that we want to check is alter. So let's click on execute. So here you can see the result set. So I am executing this statement as a user, where the username is my_user, and I am executing this statement within the SQL Server Guides database, and in that database my user have permission related to these three stored procedures, that is female students, male students, female employees, and it does not have permission on this all employees stored procedure. And for permission, see, for permission I'm talking about alter permission. So this user have alter permission on three stored procedures in the database, and for one it doesn't have. Now let's understand how we can grant this alter permission for this all employees stored procedure to this user, that is my underscore user. So very first method is by using the management studio. So for this first I will right click that procedure and click on properties. So from this new window I have to open this permissions page. Now see, I am getting this my user role from here only, but if you want to if you want to select the user or role, you have to click on this search icon, and then we have to browse, and then from here we have to select the user that we want, and we will need to click on OK. Again OK. So now we have to click on this user to select it, and from here we need to click on this grant alter permission, and then simply click on OK to grant that permission. Now let's understand how we can do the same thing using a query in SQL Server. For this implementation I will move back to the article, and to grant a permission on any object we need to use this grant statement. Let's understand this by implementing this example. Let's copy this. So very first thing that I have done is I have specified my database. So to grant this permission we will use this grant, then we need to specify alter, the permission that we basically want. Now this permission is on an object whose name is all employees, and we want to assign this permission to a user. So we have used this to and then the username. So my username is my underscore user. So I will click on execute. So with this we have understood how we can grant this alter permission to an user, and now that user can modify this stored procedure using the alter procedure statement. Now let's move to the next topic. So our next topic is how we can use this create or alter statement for a stored procedure in SQL Server. So create or alter statement is a single statement which is a combination of both create and alter statement. So usually what we do is we need to write the logic separately to check whether the object already exists in the database or not, and if it exists then we alter it, and if it doesn't then we create it. SQL Server simplifies this task by providing this create or alter statement. So if when we use this, so we don't need to separately check the existence of a stored procedure. So if the stored procedure already exists, then the alter statement will be executed to modify that procedure, and if the stored procedure doesn't exist, then the create procedure statement will be used to create that stored procedure. So let's understand this with the help of an example. So I will copy this example from here, paste it here. So if I show you, you can see I have one stored procedure with name get employees by department. So it is already there in my database. So if simply use this create procedure statement and execute this, then stored procedure will return an error, and it will say that the procedure already exists in that database. So if I am not sure whether the procedure is already there or not, what I can do is I can use this create or alter procedure statement. Now if I execute this, it will see if the procedure already exists, the alter statement has been triggered and it has modified that, and you can see command completed successfully message. So with this we have come to the end of this video. If you really like this video, give it a big thumbs up, and do subscribe to our YouTube channel for more free tutorials, and thanks for watching.